Hi Timberwolves fans, I'm Sarah Pavlachik here with head men's soccer coach for the Northwood University Timberwolves, Doug Carter. Doug, we're going to jump right into it. Last year, one of the best years in program history. Talk a little bit about what you saw last year and what you're so successful and proud of from last year.
Well, I think overall, I mean, one of the first things we've got to be proud of is our graduation rates and how well we did in the classroom. So let's start off with that part. On the field, we'd always set ourselves up that we were going to be a very good defence. We were indeed. It saw us in great stead both throughout the conference season, and then we did quite well in post-season. We always wanted a little bit more, but Sweet 16 was a very good thing to go to. And you know what, it was a fantastic year based upon a really good senior class.
Yeah, so talking about last year's season, GLIAC regular season champions, GLIAC tournament champions, and you went on to the Sweet 16. So those seniors that you had from last year, academic All-American of the Year in Johannes Starobo, like you said, the defensive kind of capstone back in the goalkeeper. And then you also had Keaton Levick. Yep. An All-American. You had Michael Ankoviak, an amazing All-American defender from 2 years ago. Talk about those key players.
Well, they really set our stall out for us. Keaton had transferred to us from a Division I previously, and he really developed into a player that for us was key. He scored some major goals, and he was such a really fine technical player. So he was pivotal for us in terms of what we wanted to do offensively. Mike had been a mainstay of our defense for a number of years, and it was good that he got the recognition a couple of years ago as an All-American. It was thoroughly deserved. He had another good season last year, and he scored a number of good goals in terms of set pieces, which we did very well at. And Johannes, quite simply, I mean, you know, to be thought of the way he was, to get the awards that he did from the SIDs, it was a real tremendous achievement. It reflected very, very well on the program, Northwood as a whole, but it really reflected well on just like what a wonderful person he was. And obviously he developed into being a mainstay of what we did from a goalkeeping perspective.
Yeah, so let's talk about, so you had a number of seniors from last year graduate. Let's kind of talk about a mix of those seniors, but then also the underclassmen that you look for kind of jumping into this year, looking forward to step up.
Yeah, this year as we go into the season, we've got two seniors. Both of them, we've got Dom Hart and Dalton Ames. Both of them are captains, and both of them are a little injured right now. They're coming off the NPSL season, so we'll have to see how their injuries develop over the next few weeks to decide exactly what role they're going to play for certain earlier on in the season. But then from there, this is probably the youngest team that we've certainly had for several years. There's a whole bunch of new freshmen coming in. Yes, we have some internationals coming in, but a whole host of very, very good domestic players, many of whom who have won very high awards and also won state club championships with PSG Nova. So we're excited about what we've brought in. And really, in a sense, it will be a little bit of a mixed bag for some of the guys who've been around for a year or two and been with the program. It gives them an opportunity to really see if they can make a case to be a starter, to get more playing time. So as we go into this, there's a lot of reasons to be hopeful. There's a lot of reasons to also, you know, have a sense of caution because we're going to be so young. But we think we're still very talented. It's really going to be a case of just how well we can mesh early on.
Yeah, so you have, like you said, the Dalton and Dom coming in, Dom being a senior defender, Dalton being a senior midfielder. You have that goalkeeping spot wide open, and with Johannes Starobo leaving. What other positions or what other key players do you see maybe filling some of those empty roles that those seniors had left?
Well, I think rather than name names, I think I'll leave it open to every single person. There's a lot of guys. When last year we had so much of a settled side, we didn't have many injuries, so it really made a lot of people on the bench. It made their opportunities very few and far between. And given that, now they're going to have the opportunity to try and do some different things, maybe try out for some different positions, but the opportunity is completely there for basically everyone as they come forward. One of the other things, of course, you know, Luke Ruff, who did a fantastic job for us as an assistant coach, he's moved on, And this year we've got Stevie Shard coming in. Stevie was with us last year as one of the assistants, did a very good job in terms of for our offense, and now he's coming in as our full-time assistant. And I'm very excited to work with him as well.
So, Coach, you have a lot of open opportunities for a lot of younger players to really seize the day on. You have a new assistant coach coming in. I mean, it looks like a whole lot of big new things for this program.
Yeah, I think in that we've tried to maintain as much continuity as we possibly could. Some of the upheaval that we've gone through was always going to happen. So in that, yeah, there's many new things. So I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that as we come into the season, we are certainly not the finished article or the polished article the way we would have possibly imagined last year. But given that, it's very new, it's very exciting, and the core of the team is basically going to be completely different this year. So it'll be very interesting to see how this young team does early on. It will be also interesting to see how we develop and progress throughout the season.
All right, Coach, thank you so much. Fans, that's your 2016 men's soccer season preview. Here with head men's soccer coach for the Northwood University Timberwolves, Doug Carter.
Thank you, Sarah. Go Timberwolves.